Hello, Cancer. Welcome to Beauty Soul Tarot. I hope you're doing well. So, as you probably know, this can resonate with any placement that you have in Cancer. So, if you have Cancer in like the fifth house, this could apply to your fifth house. Okay, so this is for the this is for the end of January, going into the start of the year, the end of the month, and this is for Cancer. If you're interested in a private reading, all of that is in the description box below. Okay, so let's see. Cancer. Whoa, all of those cards wanted to fly out. Page of Emotions, Queen of Swords. You're feeling annoyed. You're feeling annoyed. Okay, Cancer. These cards are trying to come out. Yeah, I feel like you feel overworked. Okay, so we have the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. The Nine of Cups in reverse. You feel like you're doing more than what you're getting in some way. We'll just leave these here. Yeah, I feel like you're overworked. It seems like you're overworked, or you feel like you're not getting what you would ask for in return. Yeah, the Ten of Voices. Okay. So there's something that you're doing a lot of. You're like working yourself to the core. Bless your heart. You're working yourself to the core. And with, it would seem to be not as much of a return. I feel like that's what's irritating you, whatever this is. I feel like you feel so annoyed. I can tell that you're annoyed because there seems to be someone trying to help, and it's like you're just laying there like, no, that's not helping. Right here. I feel like someone's trying to reach over to help you, and you're like, I feel like you've gotten used to, in some way, getting your way or getting what you want, or getting like all of this, your needs met. And there's something about the way she has her hand like bent over, the way she has her hand bent, but she still seems to be posing in some kind of way. Like there's something about being still, but then there's something about being like affected in some way. Like some part of the other aspect of you is, or another person, whoever it is like turned in some way. Yeah, it's turned in some way. Okay, the music. Yeah, I feel like this has to do with that just flew out. Yeah, I feel like this has to do with what you get that's like getting your way. Getting your way in some way. And but at the same time you feel like it's not, or maybe you're just used to getting your way and it's not working. It seems like there's something that there seems to be, though, like even though the Five of Pentacles is a droughtful situation, like it can be like when you're alone and you're in an empty place. This is what it feels like. It feels like you are in what would be like an empty, like you don't have what you're asking for in some way, or it feels like you don't. And as this is what that card represents, it feels like it's a beautiful escape at the same time. Like there seems to be a beautiful place for you I think it's just quite frustrating because, well, it doesn't have to be so frustrating. The Ten of Voices is like a completion where it's like several things are over. Like, it feels like all of this has led to things closing. Like, in the traditional tarot, the Ten of Swords, they're all together, they're all in a row horizontally. I mean, vertically. I mean, horizontally, not vertically. They're all in a row. And I feel like they would like kind of cut out whatever's in the water, if that makes sense. Even though swords physically can't do that, it's the air element itself that would cut out like the whatever's the nonsense is in the water. And I feel like in some way, how do I say that? I feel like in some way it's like something's over, like it's done and it's over. And you've heard the same story so many times, something like that. Like you've heard it so many times and you've gotten used to something, but it's still pleasant. There's still some sort of pleasant, especially with these two cards together, like there's some sort of pleasant experience that you're experiencing. So this is when now it's focusing on like what you're doing. What you're doing has to do with something that makes you unsatisfied in some way. Let's see what else. Cancer. That's strange. The Knight of Voices. So suddenly something cuts you off, or you like change the subject quick, like very quickly. This could be another person too, but somehow you're like changing the subject, or you're like cutting off. It could be as well, what's interesting is something is being cut off, like something turns. I'm not quite sure yet because it doesn't show who it is that's turning this. It feels like turning something off or turning something away. Let's see. Cancer. I keep clearing my throat. Yeah, okay. The Lovers in reverse. You're like switching sides. Cancer. Okay, the Six of Pentacles. Okay. Whoa, all of those cards, huh? I feel like this is so confusing now, suddenly. It has to do with the balance between, like, the people that you're with. It has to do with playful energy of some kind, and okay, it's like, hurry, this isn't right. But that's not it. Okay, I'm gonna put these back. This is not making sense. Okay. I should have kept those out. There's 3 other people. Something gets cut off. Cancer. The Ace of Voices. I feel like you're called in a different direction somehow. It's not like a huge thing. It's just like something subtle calls you in a different direction. With this card being in reverse. Something lights your, like, there's a light in a different direction for you. This doesn't have to be romantic. This could be something else. Yeah, I feel like there are pathways. In some way, there are pathways that lead you to what you want. I think the pleasure experience is something you're used to. And this is more subtle. So then you turn your focus again back to the person who's helping you or back to what is helping you. And you notice that there's a correct path there. Like it's more clear. It's a straight path. We have the moon. So that's so interesting. Yeah, so I feel like you are in this mystery, but it feels like you're okay. So now it feels like you're down in a certain level, like there's layers to something, and this is metaphorically speaking. Like you can take something out and remove it and fix it to where you can get up, if that makes sense. Like that's just about the card, but the card isn't true. Um, it feels like there's points that you suddenly start to discover that you can move in a sort of way. Still yet there's pleasure there. There's seems to be something about that. Cancer. And I feel like someone's bothering you when you're sleeping, or when you're sleeping you feel so alone. Like I feel like you feel so empty in some way. Not so alone, but you feel like empty in some way, like you're missing something, like you forgot your drink. And you're like listening, you're like, okay, Cancer. We have the 10 of materials. I think of Alice in Wonderland and how they paint the roses. I feel like something is being painted and then unpainted. Not necessarily, but this is like a family tradition. This is family. This is a traditional experience, something that's long been a process, long been an experience. There's a call in a new direction. Back to the beginning, which I feel like goes back to her sleeping, and then I noticed this orange color. It goes back to the center. Whatever the answer is that you're looking for. Yeah, it's like something is like twisted and it to be unraveled or to be aligned. It goes back to the beginning, and then this card can turn upright. And then it can be clear where you're going, but it still is clear because the light is behind her as she turns. So it's like you're going in a roundabout in a sort of way. Yeah, the 8 of Wands. There's something specific about a point that you reach that opens up the colors that you're looking for. I hope that makes sense. So Cancer, with that being said, let's get one more card. Cancer, the Queen of Swords. You're still cutting something off, though. You feel disconnected in some way. The World, this is another cycle that you're completing. Yeah, this is a cycle about what you are in charge of, despite your discomfort and annoyance about it. This has to do with her arms are just up in the air. So I feel like this is a way of saying, this is the lesson that I have to learn, or this is the experience that I have to be going through at this time. And then it will transition. So that's what I have for you, Cancer. Thank you so much for stopping in. I hope this has been helpful. I hope to see you soon. Also, if you want a private reading, the information is in the description box below. Thank you. Bye.